NCAA champ Caleb Henson here in Blacksburg.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like that long ago, you're one of the new guys in this program, and all of a sudden now you're down to one season left. What has the time been here like, and what's this like? It seems like it's gone by in a blink of an eye.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely long, especially when you're competing in these seasons. Seasons could be long. They're long and short, and it's mixed reality. But, I mean, it's been awesome, and there's a lot more time for me here, post-collegiate wrestling, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of ups and downs, highs and lows, but, I mean, I wouldn't ask to be anywhere else.
What have the new guys added to this program?
Just reinstated the culture that was kind of already here. It's kind of why these guys came here, but I mean, they live, breathe, and sleep it. So just their discipline and hunger for not only the sport, but their own goals is through the roof. And I just think that, I mean, we got a good group of guys, younger and older right now.
How do you try to influence the guys that come in, to get them acclimated and adjusted and make sure they're fitting into the culture you guys have established?
Just first off, lead by example. And then after that, just be there, maybe try to relate on a level when I was there and maybe I didn't feel, guess it sounds kind of corny, but like understood, and like try to just travel back in time and try to feel what those guys are feeling. And I mean, I was right there, like you said, not too long ago. I didn't redshirt, so it really was 3 years ago when I was a true freshman. So I still have really strong memories of how those guys are feeling, how I was feeling, what worked, what didn't work, and the lessons I learned. And hopefully I can catalyst and give them a little jump start that I really didn't have.
Where have you grown the most since you've arrived here?
Probably, I mean, just gratefulness, like understanding that like I get to do this, I don't have to do this. I'm like given this opportunity, and we had a guy come in it's Devin Carter, one of the best guys ever come through this program, but he said something that really stuck with me, and it's kind of something I've lived at times and I'm really trying to live throughout my life. He said, squeeze every little ounce of juice that you can while you're here, and that's something that I think I've grown into, and I don't want to leave a regret of I didn't get everything I got out of while I was here. So I think on a maturity level, I'm making sure I accomplish that through my own beliefs.
What has this place meant to you?
Everything. I mean, they gave me a shot. I was a top guy in high school, but when I was getting recruited, Georgia was still like, you might take a number 5 PA ranked kid over a number 1 Georgia kid just because, it's true. They got better kids, but took a shot on me. Coaches believed in me from day one to now, and it's meant everything from the guys to the people to team chapels, our nutritionists, our workers around the facility, our trainers. I mean, everything. It's just family.
You said you didn't take a red shirt, but you still have that at your disposal. And, the way things line up with Eddie getting a medical, he could come back next year. You've got some high caliber recruits on the way.
Yep.
If you guys opted to consolidate, you could put together a really strong team next year. It sounds like a red shirt is at least on the table. What are your thoughts about taking one this year and potentially coming back next year?
Yeah, I mean, it's been talked about, but it's something that, it's going to happen naturally if it happens. Coaches, it's been brought up, but, I mean, again, we don't graduate anyone this year, which is a big deal, and we got a lot of young guys, but we'll see. I love to compete, and that's at the end of the day. So I'm trying to compete as much as possible, and I want to get out there on the mat.
Speaking of competition, the next one for Yusuf Farrell, is that right?
Yep.
What are your thoughts post-collegiately as far as freestyle goes? And I know you've talked about one to fight, too. Where are you at on that stuff?
World and Olympic champ, and then UFC champ. I mean, that's the goals. That's what I'm going for. But, I mean, I'd like to win a world title over the summer and then make the Olympic team 2028.
What do you like about this squad, this room right now with what's going on?
Just gamers, a lot of competitive cats. Just some new guys, some new faces, but ultimately even the new faces feel old, just really clicked with what we have going on, and we're adding a lot of different things, and I think we're being ourselves, and that's all you can ask for. And I think we have guys who have been here for a little bit who are finally starting to grow into their role, like Sonny Sasso, Jimmy Mullen, and that's really exciting.
Tony was talking about the commitment that you have, doing things to help you win. He said he's never seen you quit in a position, and the rarity of that. How do you get to that point? Because it's a tough sport. There are positions at times where probably a lot of people want to quit on a position or practice. How do you get yourself to that point where you don't do that?
Grow up with siblings. But other than that, I think I've just been competitive from a young age. I've had really good friends who we competed hard through everything, and it never really messed with our friendship either. It was kind of just how we were. And then, just, again, being competitive. I don't want to lose, but understanding winning isn't everything, and just making it simple, It's not, the harder you think it is, the harder it'll be. So the more you don't want to lose, the easier it'll be, It's kind of how I look at it.
Where has the work ethic come from?
Probably just family, how I was raised.
With this team, what taking the steps to elevate the program, what does that mean to you to see Virginia Tech? Obviously you guys won a trophy before you were here, but sustainability and reaching new levels. What does it take to do that, and what would that mean to you to reach a higher level than what's been done here?
Yeah, what it'll take to do that, I think that's something that we're figuring out daily. It's kind of a unknown answer or avenue for me. I don't really know, but I'm working towards it. It's kind of the one piece of my puzzle missing. Got an ACC championship last year, national championship for myself, All-American, Wrestler of the Year, ACC Wrestler of the Year. So the only two things that are really missing for me are team trophy and Hodge trophy, and those are definitely the two priorities in my training right now. So just trying to bleed what I can do for these guys to help us reach that level is everything I'm trying to do right now.
What did you take away from the match in the national finals against Ridge last year? What are two or three of the fine points that, looking back on that, could have been difference makers? Obviously, the video review didn't go your way, but what are the fine points of that match that you've really reflected upon?
Just put myself in more wrestling positions. I think the more I have to wrestle in a match, the better I get. To maybe not respect a guy's best attributes as much. I think that's what's made me really good, is staying out of guys' matches. But maybe in that match, I stayed out of his match so much that I didn't get into mine. And for example, I was in on his legs 3-4 times maybe, and I almost finished, I guess, once, and he didn't even touch my legs. And so looking back on it, I think, and he didn't even score. I was so worried about maybe him scoring defensively that I maybe hesitated on pulling the trigger a little bit. But if I'm on his legs 10 times, I'm scoring 2 out of 10, and I don't think I'm a good scrambler, and I got to believe in my ability everywhere on the mat. Like earlier I just said, I respected his game of scrambling, which is what he's known for, and his top game. I'm not going to look back and say I should have chose bottom, because, my coaches made the decision, and that's who I trust, and I think it's worked before, so that's not an excuse to make. But, just believing in my ability everywhere on the mat. I think I'm the best everywhere, and if you don't believe that, and that's not what you're training for, then what are we doing? So looking back on it, just making more wrestling happen. I think when that happens, I end up coming on top.
We did the All Quarter Century project this summer, and looking at that 49, you look at it, and there just aren't a lot of guys that have made the finals twice, and won a title along with that. Do you think about your place among the greats, not just at Virginia Tech, but rising the ranks and where you could be when it's all said and done here?
Yeah, that's kind of the goal, and it's harder than people think to win a national title, especially as a sophomore, and then to continue to have that true hunger that I had before that. It's kind of hard. You kind of get satisfied, but that's something I think the guys and my coaches around me have done a great job is keeping me hungry and realizing how cool that legacy can really be is when if I look at it, and I mean, after the first one, my goal was a 3-time national champ, and that's a small club, you know. So that was something I was really excited to do. But now it's shifting and being a 2-time champ, and then being a world champ, being an Olympic champ, and you put those 4 accolades together, and it's a pretty dang good career. I don't know how many are sticking up with that. So that's my goals, and I think that puts me at one of the best ever.
As we mentioned, you went from day one here, you know, in the lineup from day one. You got some guys that are potentially going to be in the lineup from day one here. Mm-hmm. What did you get out of competing right away that helped you advance your career faster than maybe if you'd redshirted right away?
Just how everyone bleeds, you know. Everyone's human. With the right work and right focus and right demeanor, you can beat anyone in the country if you're a true freshman to a 5th-year senior, 6-year senior, however old these guys are today. But just, you know, just like All-American that freshman year, if I didn't do that, I can't say I would have won my sophomore year, you know? So just getting out there and getting some good wins and, you know, almost being oblivious to the caliber that you're wrestling when you're that young. You know, you look back when you were in high school of how stupid you were, right? Like, so like coming back into this freshman year, just be that stupid, be that ultra confident and don't let it waver whenever it happens. And, you know, just believing in your ability, and that comes from what you do in here and outside of the room, of course, but kind of just keeping that young, youthful, like, demeanor about you.